Hello everyone, my name is Murat Bayram. I'm a solution architect at Software AG, and today I want to show you how you can embed Power BI dashboards within the Cumulocity as reports using our Cumulocity IoT Data Hub. So first of all, the Data Hub extracts all IoT data on a scheduled and incremental basis from the Cumulocity IoT platform and optimizes and stores it for analytical queries into a dedicated data lake of choice, such as, for example, an Azure Data Lake, AWS S3 bucket, or even a local file system with MinIO. The Data Hub also handles all SQL query requests from your preferred analytics tools, such as Power BI, as in this example, or others like Tableau, Qlik, or in the data science content Python or R, since we use standards like ODBC, JDBC, or REST API. So all the people out there doing analytics on long-term data can still use their well-proven tools, and they do not have to change their way of working. In this example, we want to show you how to create a Power BI dashboard and embed it within the Cumulocity as a report. We know that many companies use Power BI to create KPI dashboards for efficiency of their machines or lines or products. So this is very interesting for many of our customers. So let's go to a little demo. So first of all, we need, of course, to create a little KPI dashboard together. So the first thing I did here is I opened Power BI Desktop on my laptop. And the first thing it asked me to click on Get Data. So this is of course the way to get the connections to various data sources in here. And what you see is that there are many connectors that you can use in order to create your dashboards or your reports. And one is Dremio. And Dremio is the powerful engine behind the Cumulocity IoT data. So when I click on that and I click connect, then it will basically ask me for the Dremio cluster node. And the Dremio cluster node is actually the one single point of contact where I get all my information from. So this is, in this case, it is the datahub.eu-latest because my tenant is running on that, where we'll embed the dashboard. And I will change it to direct query, so not loading everything just by querying. And what is also needed is the port, and this is standard by Dremio, is 31010. So when I click on that now, then it will ask me for the credentials, and those are the credentials from within the data application. So this is usually the tenant ID. And / something that is related to the use case, or I don't know, a user, whatever. So in this case, it's a / demo and of course my password. So when I click connect in here now, then it will start loading all the data within the data lake. So in this case, it is an AWS S3 bucket. And as you can see here, there's some acceleration data, for example, but also events and alarms, and a compass and a gyroscope. This is because I used the IoT Cloud Sensor app that is available in the App Store to create some example data. But what is very interesting in here is that since this data lake is external, so to say, it can also contain data from various other applications that is injected, for example, through an integration platform such as webMethods, for example, and thus can be used to create reports that is not only relying on IoT data, but also on IoT data and various other applications or databases. So I just clicked on loading all the data, and if I click load and load, I'm not transforming anything. Then we do have now, after loading all this data, we do have them here in the field section in a couple of seconds. So PowerBI tells me it's working on it. So, and you can see it now in here that we do have now all the data in here. So the structure actually that is coming from the data lake is a standard called Apache Parquet, where the data is stored in the data lake. And the next thing we are going to do is now we create a dashboard. And as you will recognize in a second, I'm not much of a Power BI report guy, but first of all, what we do in here is, yeah, let's click some acceleration data. So let's do that, for example, here within the time. So you can see here, I was shaking the phone a little bit. So this is acceleration in X, for example, over time. What we could also do is we could create a scatter block. So for example, acceleration in X versus acceleration in Y. So, and we're not summarizing that. So this can be analyzed as purpose or whatever. Then what we also could do is we could put in some blocks. So let's say X, Y, and Z. So this is some stack thing. So you can see, I don't know, it's for example, much more accelerating in Z than in Y and X. And I don't know, like last example, we put in a gauge and, oh, I'm sorry, that was the wrong one. And I'm doing something like this. Oh. So I don't know, the maximum value in Z. So something like this, okay? So Power BI now has the possibility to publish those created reports. So there's this report, this publish the report tab in here in this application. So when I click on that, then the Power BI asks me whether I want to save that in my workspace, and now it's publishing it to my workspace, and you will shortly find it afterwards in my Power BI account. Okay, this is done. Okay, I got it. So next thing we are doing, we are switching to my workspace. And we will find now the uploaded or published report here in my workspace in the report section. So what you see in here is that the just created KPI dashboard is now in here. And when I click on that, it will basically load the data and open it, and then the same, same widgets and the data structure will here appear as it did just recently on the Power BI desktop application. So what I can do in here now, I can click on File and open Embed, and it will just give me the secured embedded code that I can use now to embed it in Cumulocity, for example. So I copy here the HTML code that is needed, and the next thing we do is we switch to Cumulocity. So in here, I'm in Cumulocity in the cockpit application, and what you can see here is that there is a tab that is called Reports. And what I can do in here is I can either create reports on a CSV or Excel basis where I can filter between different, I don't know, like alarms or measurements or events of different devices or machines. But also I can click on this big plus in here and add a report. And what it does when I click on that is, I put in the name and the icon here, for example, a bar chart would be very good, I guess. Then it will add this here below the reports tab as a new page, so to say. So in this page is initially it's empty, but now I have the possibility to add widgets in here. So within the widget section, I will use our HTML widget. which is able to display HTML code. And when I paste now the copied code from the copied secured code from the workspace, and I click on save, then what we will see after loading the data is that I do now have the KPI dashboard I created in the Power BI desktop application here embedded now in the report section of Cumulocity IoT. So I hope you liked that, and I'm very looking forward to feedback or questions you have. And thank you very much, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.